first impressions. The Springboks are back, not a test, essentially a glorified exhibition game, but they came through with a thumping victory against the Barbarians, and there's just a feeling when the Springboks are back playing, right? A friend of ours said, like, now the real rugby is about to begin after a whole season of URC and top 14 and European, like, champ cups and Six Nations. Like, no, now the real rugby is about to begin because it's the Springboks. In that game against the Barbarians, what were your first impressions, your big takeaways from the Springboks?
Sure. I want to start at the back end, like in the second half after the bomb squad bombed and they made a wholesale number of changes in that starting 15. Manny Libbok's kicking looks so smooth, Jay. And I was like, this is what it can look like, along with the playmaking abilities that he's since shown for the green and gold. And I'm just thinking to myself that I know Sasha Feinberg Mgomezulu is the one that is earmarked to take the team forward. But it wouldn't be bad to have Manny Libbok if he can put his game together. Then you understand why going into the 2023 World Cup, they put everything in terms of we're putting our money on Manny Libbok because I saw what it could be. It was clean, Jay. It was not in his head. He didn't stay at the post for so long that he's running down the kicking clock. But he was just playing smooth, Jay. And I think to myself, I hope it works out.
Yeah,
but
Chuck,
everyone's favorite,
Manny is a unique talent at 10. My personal feeling with Manny Libbok, having watched him, is number one, right? He's the best kicker out of hand, like bar none. Like what left foot, right foot, distance, like finding touch, whether it's the up and unders, whether he's clearing his lines, and he's not trying to be too like inventive or creative. There's no one who can match him, and then that playmaking ability is unique. And the thing is, right, is the kicking for posts, that if you get that right, you're probably talking about top 5 best player in the world.
And as you say that, Jay, remember Rassi said that we're not expecting too much magic from Sasha. That's the exact blend that you want in a player. Like with Mani. Mani is consistent in terms of what needs to be done for the game, for rugby. Then he's got that fleet-footedness where he's got the run, he's got the playmaking ability, the creativity. If Sasha can model his game around that guy, sky's the limit. In the 9 jersey, though, Vonenbeck, not for me. Not for me. I didn't quite shine. Obviously, he's got time. He can get better. But in that play against the Barbers, I think he could have been more responsible with the ball. He's up and under kicks. Is that what it's called, no? When you collect from the ruck. Not the best.
Box kicks.
Box kicks, thank you. Not quite the best. But I think we can be patient with him. He was not utterly horrible time. But when the guy who came through, it looked much, much better, although he had like 20 minutes to play. But I think he'll learn. He'll get better at this game. And everyone's favorite, everyone wanted to see Wasanatin Tabaganya come through in the Springboks jersey to play. Not too bad at display. I think you're happy with that first outing in the green and gold. Didn't dominate all the scrums as you would hope or rather expect of the Springboks. But that was great. Lot Diaga, great to see him back in the Springboks jersey. Although Uyoshaya to prayer with Ngentogo and he had to go out for a HIA assessment. You're like, dude, are you that hungry for the game? But the stalwarts, Jay, or the regulars of the Springboks, Chisholm, Colby, Kurtley Aronson, fluid on the wings. Still magic, still looking good. So, Jay, all in all, I mean, that was great. We kept them out for a large part of the game. They scored only late on in the game. Otherwise, it was almost a shutout. So, Springboks still purring, still looking good. But the new additions, Jay, have me wondering and very much positive in terms of what Springboks could bring in the future.
Yeah, Chuck. For me, it's the professional approach to this game. Because as I say, it's an exhibition game, right? Yeah. And I guess the Barbarians, you tend to just like give it some air, throw it around, have fun, and I don't know. I think this is the first visit of the Barbarians to South Africa. Because usually when you see teams play the Barbarians, even the Springboks, it's the end of year tour, right? Where you've played all your important games and it's just a run out, But this one comes at a time where you are then preparing for, I think, 15 test matches coming up this year. And we know as well you are in that World Cup cycle, which with Rassi having taken over the reins again as not just like the director of rugby, but the head coach, wants to go and win a trifecta of William Webb Ellis trophies, right? And the approach, therefore, was that of a team that is focused on its goals. And yeah, we're not here to play around because I saw an interaction on social media where the Barbarian like social media team was like, we thought we're gonna have like uncontested scrums, you know, and where Rassi was posting videos of the players like going through the scrum techniques and whatnot, and that first scrum destroyed the Barbarians. As you say, the Barbarians did recover in as the game went on. But that, right, as well as you see, like Cheslin Kobe is in mid-season form already. Like he's just continuing to do Cheslin Kobe stuff, and it's just brilliant. You know, you even think Jesse Creel also had a good game in the 13 jumper. And that was the main takeaway from me. Like you talk about the new players, right? The integration of the new players is in a game where there's not much pressure, but what was simulated is test match conditions, which again speaks to the planning and the focus of the Springboks. And then Chuck, there's the matter of Esterhuizen coming on as our flank. Like Rassi, Rassi's an inventor, right? Like, and Rassi is hell bent on putting forward rugby's version of like total rugby. Like hybrid players, we know we already 100%. Have Ekwaka who covers the flanks as well as the wings because of his experience in sevens, right? Now Esterhuizen, because of his size, if we are being honest, is, of course, we know he's a center, as a backline player, and that's what Rassi said, that he's a backline player who can play as a forward, but now he is there on the side of the scrum. We'll see if he's able to do the other things that flankers do. Is able to Silo Farak is able to go fetch a ball. What is his involvement in lineouts? I don't think we'll see him in the major games, packed down like with the scrum. But worst comes to worst, then you have that player. But the continual pushing of the envelope, because we saw last season with the Cheslin Kobe at scrum half, we see him like throwing into the lineout as well, and this is the idea that Rassi wants to have. Even when he's talking about Ntlabakanye, we know the physicality, but what we spoke about, like it was his battle rates, but he also spoke about his ability in open play, his touch and his feel for the game. And it's a scary thing that Rassi is trying to build with the Springboks. And once again, as I'm saying, the inventiveness of it all is something that like stood out.
Yeah, Jay, when I think about what you've just detailed in terms of when he was pack heavy with the 6-2 or 7-1 split, he's got players in there who can play in the back line, as you said, should worst come to worst. And so if he does traditional, maybe 4-4, 5-3, Esterhuizen can do either job. And so he's planning for any eventuality, any opposition. All players are just flexible. So, yeah, no, maybe the 3-peat is coming, Jay. Maybe.
It's looking scary, but not for us.